Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get straight into this video. We're going to be doing a trade breakdown on the trades that I have taken today, which is Monday, September 22nd, 2025, you guys. Um, I so listen, you guys, these videos are intended to help prop firm traders. I don't know how many of you guys are prop firm trading, but even if you're not prop firm trading, the reason why I do these trade reviews is that, I hope that, maybe if you're still learning, maybe if you're still trying to become profitable, my hopes is that you can take some of the information that I am providing in these videos and possibly use them to become a better trader, you guys. Okay, so before we get into this video, obviously I have to do a government risk disclaimer and tell you guys that trading is risky. This is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. The information you will get in this video is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only, to help traders learn more about uh, prop firms, day trading, and prop firm trading in general, you guys. So let's get into this video. Lost a little bit of my voice back there, but we're all good. We're still in this. All right. So today, you guys, I started trading in the London session, right? Started trading in the London session, and that's because if you guys go watch the last video I posted, you guys can see that I was profitable during the day, but I gave it all back plus more during the PM session because I was looking for a move lower. We eventually did get this move during the London session, and obviously, you guys, I'm a truck driver, and a lot of the times I'm driving 2 or 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. So sometimes I do look at the market as well. It's a bad habit, and it's something that I've been trying to stop doing because a lot of the times I will get chopped up during the London session. As you guys can see, we are up about almost $1,400 on our account. We still have a long way to go. It feels like we got about 4.7, 4.6% left to make on this account before we can have it funded. And I will be honest, you guys, it have been a challenge. This is why me personally, I prefer the more traditional accounts with the 10% overall drawdown and the 5% daily drawdown. For me, it's a little bit easier to navigate. The end of day drawdown on this one step 100K account, it's not the worst. It's really not the worst, but it is a little bit more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be. All right. So let me take you guys to the charts and show you guys what I was looking at right during the London session. So the first thing that I was looking at was the daily time frame. All right, first thing I was looking at was the daily. I have to find these daily candles. All right, so as you guys can see right here, I measured out this wick on the daily time frame, right? And as you guys can see, price came down, hit the midpoint of this wick, and then it touched into a first presented fair value gap right here. This was from September the 18th during New York evening time, right? So NYE on my chart means New York evening session, right? So this is why I tell you guys to use the first presented fair value gaps from the morning, from the evening, and even sometimes from the London session as well, because I have one right here from the London session, right? This one from the London session is where price bounced up into, and you guys are going to see that as we drop back down into the 1 minute time frame. All right, scroll to the left. So this is where I first took my first buy. I didn't really get a good sizing in here. I only had like one micro on one of my accounts, and I only had like one entry on both of my CFD accounts. But we did get a nice pop back up. I pretty much sold right before we got into this 1 minute order block because you just never know how price is going to want to touch this order block and maybe come back down again. And I was thinking that we went lower than the midpoint, so I was thinking maybe we want to even come back down, sweep this liquidity right here, and touch this yellow line. I mean, this orange line in here. But that obviously never happened. So I took my little profits right there, and then the second trade that I took was actually a sell that I ended up getting in too early on. And here, you guys, I'm going to show you guys this real fast. All right, show you guys this. Got to scroll back a little bit. So I was getting into a sell from, nope, that's the wrong price action. Wrong price action. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm giving y'all the right price action because I get tripped up like almost every time. So right up in here, right, this is the 330. This is where we got our bounce. No, this is Friday. Why am I still looking at Friday? Okay, I'm so far back. That's why I got to scroll up. Okay, here we go. So we got this bounce. This is the 5-minute chart, you guys. We got this bounce. And what I was looking at right here, I measured out this range with my Fibonacci tool. And as you guys can see, this yellow line, we had a 5-minute, fair value gap right here. So this is where I started to sell from. But I was using the top of this order block as my stop loss, right? Because, from trading ICT concepts so long, I do understand that the market is so good at faking people out that it's ridiculous. So I almost did get stopped on my E8 account. They actually closed my trades for me, which is the reason why I almost blew that account. It wasn't even because it ever hit my stop loss, right? So imagine I'm getting in right here, stop loss above here, and then EA markets closed me out. So they closed me out, and I had to pretty much literally get right back in. I only had like $200 left that I could risk at the time. And that's how I almost ended up blowing that account. But luckily, God loves us and we're blessed. So the market did pull back down, and I ended up making about 2,800 on that trade, which got my account back into the green for the day. Pretty much got all of my accounts back into the green for the day. So that was my first trade. And to be honest, you guys, I knew I should have waited for it to go up here. And the only reason why I say that is because, like I said, we had the first presented fair value gap from the London session, right? I honestly knew that the price was going to want to draw up into here, but I was hoping that, we could have got a little sweep of liquidity down here first and then do it, right? But so I was a little bit too early on that, but luckily it all still played out, right? So that was pretty much my trade from the London session. I did take a buy in here, but I ended up getting out for small profits. That was too choppy. And then right up in here is when the market opened pretty much, and then we ended up flying straight to the ceiling. So I had no trades during the New York session opened, but I did take this little trade back here during the close. We had a 5-minute fair value gap right here. And, I pretty much was selling right up in here as the market went back into there. Didn't get the reaction that I wanted because I wanted to see if we can go down into one of these, 1-minute fair value gaps. But it did give me a little bit of profit, and I did ended up making like an extra 500 on my Alpha Capital account. So now I'm up about 1,000 or so in my Alpha Capital account. Need about 3% more with that account to get that account funded. But once again, and I don't know why, but, I got stopped out on this trade. Imagine, right? Mind you, I have my stop loss the same place where I have my stop loss out on the Alpha Capital account. So I don't know if EA markets have like some really big spreads or what, but I got stopped out on this trade, and then I pretty much had to just get right back in, and I made the money back and just ended up going break even on that trade with my E8 markets account, you guys. But that was pretty much the only trades I took. The market was very bullish. How do you know that the market is going to be bullish? Well, if you go to this daily time frame, and I probably would have put on a buy, but at this point I was just tired. I was tired, and I was like, I'm in profit. I'm just going to call it, right? But we're going to be bullish, right? Once we break out of the daily highs, and the market decides that it wants to keep going, that's how we're going to be bullish, you guys. Right? Like, let's say we sweep this daily high and the market starts to consolidate and then it drops back down, give you, a 1-minute drop or a 5-minute drop, something that's significant. That's how if we're going to go back down. But typically, this is how you use, the daily bias. You wait for the market to break out the top or the bottom, and then you want to see, is it going to keep going higher or do it start to come back lower? So because it was looking like it was going to continue to go higher, right, we had the midpoint of this daily wick that got touched. Because of all of that, I pretty much knew that it wasn't going to be selling off today, right? When the market is making all-time highs, you have to understand that it's going to be very, very, very bullish until it's not bullish, right? So I was just pretty much happy to get some of my profits back after almost blowing up last Friday, you guys. It's just so hard sometimes with these prop firm accounts. You get sick of doing the challenge, and that's what happened to me Friday. I pretty much went for the kill and tried to just complete all of my challenges in one trade, and it ended up working out against me, you guys. So I'm just giving y'all the ins and the outs of this prop firm world, and also the trading world in general. You know, it's not easy, and that's pretty much why I'm making these videos for you guys. So, you know, I can be transparent and show you guys that, hey, it's not easy, but hey, it's definitely doable. So if you guys appreciate this video series, make sure y'all drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I said, you guys, if you're already trading prop firms, or if this is something you want to look to get into, make sure y'all register. The link is going to be in the description below. And whenever you purchase a account at checkout, make sure to use my code, which is code KRACKEN. That is the best way to support this channel, you guys. So I appreciate all of the support you guys been giving me, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out.